Now, for Disturbed's next album, David has talked about being in a mood to purge what he said was 2.5 years worth of challenging experiences. So I know it's going to be a hard-hitting album. What should Disturbed fans be expecting from that album? Anything you want to?
As of right now, we really haven't. We're usually very focused on what we're doing at the moment, and we're trying to present the best show we can right now. So we're sort of in touring mode. The writing is always is in the back of our minds, but Danny's always, he has his guitar out and he's always recording riffs, and we're always working on little bits and pieces here and there, but it won't be until we go home and we're off the tour, off the road, that we can actually sort of decompress and then switch gears into the writing mode. We can't be distracted. We're very sort of one-track minded, and it's all about either the performance or it's about the writing, and it's difficult for us. Some bands can do it, but for us, we've never been able to. We have to always be 100% focused on the task at hand.
One thing at a time.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's going to be a little while then before fans can be expected.
Well, that being said, not necessarily.
That's true, because we've the last record, Indestructible, came together quite quickly. We finished touring in December of 2006, and within months we had a body of work ready to start demoing.
Exactly.
And then before we knew, we were in the studio recording away. And I think, Danny, like he was saying, Dan's already been, filing away some riffs, and a lot of times, you get a good riff and you can build a great song out of it, just based off of what, some of the riff ideas that have been floating around. It's definitely going to be a heavy, aggressive, hard-hitting record, a la Disturbed, and then, where David's mindset is, I think that's going to continue, and we're going to see an aggressive album. How it's going to play out exactly, like Mike said, we're not quite sure yet, but I don't think it's going to be a long time between finishing this album cycle and touring, taking a little break, and then jumping right back into it.
Well, we always have goals for ourselves. We don't just end the cycle and say, okay, whenever we're ready and whenever we feel it's time, the record will come out. We actually set goals, and the next goal for us is to have the new record out by, say, spring or maybe even summer of 2010. And we'd love to be back out on the road in spring of 2010. We're going to try and take as minimal time as possible. But I mean, with that being said, we're not going to rush it either. So, like I said, it's a goal. But at the same time, there's never seems to be any shortage of inspiration for us.
Right. Well, you've always got the creativity, and everything's in the back of your mind, and I'm sure it's working back there. It's just a question of getting everything together, finishing up the tour, like you said, decompressing, having a chance to get in, just sit down and look at it.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think fans are going to love that. I know they can't wait for that. It's going to be great. Again, back to your fan support. You guys have always shown how much you appreciate your fans. Always. You're launching. Oh, well, absolutely. So thanks for saying that. You're launching a great new thing called the Official Bootleg Series. Tell us about that.
Well, this is like the first time that we've really done this. We're doing it on Music as a Weapon. Basically, what we do is every show that we play, we've got a Pro Tools rig that's recording the show, and basically those shows are available online within days after the performances. So, this has been great. When I was a kid, going to see some of the concerts I saw, I would have loved to have had those concerts. And, there's a lot of bands that have been doing this. We're not necessarily breaking new ground here, but for us, it's the first time that we've tried to go this route. And we're excited about it, We're a couple shows in now. We have heard some of the mixes back, and we feel confident that, fans are really going to dig what they hear. And it's going to be nice for them. A couple days after the show, they can get online and get a piece of that experience in a hard memory. Besides the T-shirt, besides the ticket stub, they'll have actual
physical
recording, of the show.
I was at that show. That's my voice. That's me screaming in the back.
Right. It could be. For sure.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's great. Metallica's been doing that for a while, and people just love that. You just go online and download it. I think that's great. Was this kind of meant as maybe a response to the record company and them being behind the times on the file sharing, or was this just something that you want to just strictly do for the fans?
Yeah, I think the main inspiration behind that was definitely for the fans. We're always looking for new ways to give back to our fans, because again, we wouldn't be here without them. They've been very loyal. You mentioned Indestructible being the third #1 for us in a row, and that's a huge testament to the loyalty of our fans. So anything we can do for them,
It is a loyal following. It is a loyal following. Disturbed was nominated for your first Grammy for Inside the Fire, so a belated congratulations on that. What are your thoughts on the Grammys and their lack of attention to more of the hard rock scene or the metal scene? You have any thoughts on that? Not too many thoughts on that?
You know what? There definitely is. It seems like, there's hard rock performance, there's heavy metal performance, and then besides that, there's not a lot that the Grammys do to sort of support or to recognize what's happening in this type of music. There's and I didn't realize it. I've watched the Grammys, I've seen the Grammys over the years, but it wasn't until we went and we sat, through the ceremony. And I was like, there's so many awards for hip-hop artists, hip-hop performances, hip-hop writing, hip-hop this and that, and or not just hip-hop, or just, it seems, I hate to just pick on hip-hop, but, or pop, or blues, or country. It seems like all the other genres have so many more categories and have so many more, options for artists to get recognized.
Right.
And then, we're kind of this sort of throwback.
You're just lumped in.
Yeah, but at the same time, maybe that's what makes us special, is that we're not part of that. We are part of the fringe. We are, part of that culture that exists, regardless of what the mainstream wants or thinks, And I think, regardless of what happens with the Grammys, whether they love us or whether they hate us, what matters to us goes back to our connection with the fans, and if they dig what we're doing, then that's really all that matters.
Getting a Grammy, being nominated for a Grammy was never something that was ever on our radar. It was very cool when we were honored to be nominated. If we win one day, that'll be great too. But it's not something I wake up in the morning and say, oh God,
You're not
I need to
losing sleep
I need to
over
win a Grammy. Oh, it's all about the fans, really.
Good deal. Great. Okay. Well, that's about all of my questions. I was wondering if you had any final thoughts that you wanted to share with your fans, or give them a shout out, say hi to them before the show tonight.
Come on out to Music as a Weapon. When we get to your town, it's going to be great. Like John said before, we're bringing out some amazing production ideas, some stuff that we've never done before. We're going to give you guys as much as we can, give you all of our energy. We've got we got a killer lineup going on. We got motocross. We got tattoo artists. We got the whole full package. It's a real deal. So
It is a true festival. It is a true festival.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, this is Rock Honest with Sonic XS here with John and Mike. But thank you, and we're out.